Hey y'all, welcome to GM Gourmet. Today we're going to be making a classic San Antonio style chili con carne, aka chili, aka a bowl of hot red. And to do this, we're going to start by putting
some water in a microwave safe vessel
and nuking it for about 5 minutes while we take our dried chili peppers and put them in our Dutch oven to begin heating up, getting soft, pliable, a little toasted. And for those chili peppers, today we're using 2 ancho chilies, 1 guajillo chili, 1 New Mexico chili. Again, all dried. I picked these particular chilies because I'm doing this for a work chili cook-off. And I didn't want to go too hot. Wanted to give something that would give a lot of flavor, but not be too spicy, crowd pleaser sort of thing. But if you want to go spicier, by all means, use some spicier chilies. They've all been seeded and stemmed, so no seeds or stems put in here. And then, once that water's boiling and the peppers are pliable, we're going to drop them in the water, and we're going to leave them in there for at least 20 minutes. You can go up to 30. I wouldn't go much longer than that, but it gives you some flexibility while you're doing your other cooking to let them soak a little longer or use them as soon as they're ready, depending on what else is going on. So once those peppers are soaking, we're going to put a little bit of oil in the Dutch oven. I'm using avocado oil. You could use lard. You could use beef tallow if you want to go extra beefy. Something that has a nice high smoke point, like one of those is good. And we're going to take our beef chuck. I've got about a pound here, but you can use 1 to 2 pounds. I have a little extra leftover smoked brisket, so I'm using that. So I'm only going with 1 pound of beef chuck here. And it was cut into small 3/4 inch cubes. And we're just going to brown that all off in the oil. Get some gras doux down in there in the pan. And we're going to set that aside. And in the drippings from the beef, with the oil that remains, we're going to put in 2 whole onions. I'm using yellow onion here. White onion would do fine for this recipe. So go ahead and saute that onion around until it gets nice and soft, translucent. Putting in a little salt there to help that around. And just as a heads up, that beef was salted when I put it into the Dutch oven to brown. So we're going to continue to let the onions saute here until, like I said, they're nice and translucent and soft, all while the chili peppers continue to soak in that water. That'll make our chili sauce. So we'll cut ahead here and to the point where our chilies are ready. I think they're getting pretty soft here. So I'm going to put the chilies into the blender along with the fluid. You might not use all the fluid depending on how much water you had left and how much you needed to cover it, but I generally just go ahead and use all of it. So pour that into the blender also. Just trying to not make a mess. And we just blend this as fine as you can get it. The skins on these chilies do tend to be flaky and hard even after all the toasting and soaking. So what we'll do is we'll pour the chili sauce through a strainer. You have to use a spoon sometimes to work it around to get that to keep flowing. And you'll have some leftover chili solids they're not good eats, but you'll have a nice rich chili sauce that's not just that water, that's got a lot of chili solids in it. So we'll set this aside. Onions are looking nice and golden, so I'm tossing in the garlic here. Stir the garlic around. Give that a minute or two till it's nice and fragrant. And then I'm actually pulling my onions out. And now I'm putting in some ground beef. If you can get a coarse chili grind, some stores do that, particularly this time of year. then that works really great. But even then, I tend to chop it up pretty fine. This will be the meat that fills the voids between the big chunks of chuck. So once the ground beef has been browned, we'll put the onions, we'll put the chuck in, we'll put that leftover smoked brisket that we have in. Don't stress if you don't have the smoked brisket. You can go ahead and use a little bit more chuck, but it did add a nice flavor to there. And then you'll mix this all around, get it all incorporated and integrated together.
Next, we're going to talk about adding in our seasonings. We've got several dried seasonings that we've measured out and some Goya brand Saison. You can just go ahead and add 1 pack of the Saison. And then for our dried seasonings, we're going to have 1 tablespoon each of cumin. Then we're going to have 1 tablespoon of paprika. And we're going to have 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano. And then we're going to have 1 tablespoon of Gephart's chili powder. It has to be Gephart's. That's really crucial for the flavor. If you can't get Gephart's locally, you can find it on Amazon. And then we're going to add in our chili sauce that we made earlier. That's the other crucial thing to this recipe. So pour that in and stir it all together.
This is the thing that really makes this stand out as a chili dish. You're not just rolling on chili powder floating in some water. So get all that, get that simmering, and then we are going to put in 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I know a lot of people put ketchup in their chili. This does not cut it. This crushed tomatoes is the way to go. It's almost a little bit too much, but if you keep cooking this down, it blends in nicely and you don't get a overly tomato forward flavor. And that we're going to let cook for 1.5 to 2 hours. We will make a couple additions along the way. I do this after 1.5 hour of cooking. I drop in some dark chocolate. You could use semi-sweet morsels if you have those, but a rich dark chocolate really adds something to this. And then we're going to add in beef broth. I use some bone broth here to try and add a little bit extra richness. Additionally, you could use better than bouillon and some water. It looks like it's going to be too much fluid. You added the pepper sauce. You added the crushed tomatoes. Now you're adding this, and it looks like it's going to be too much. But we're going to let it cook down with the lid ajar for a little bit. And then we're also going to toss in some bay leaves. Can't leave out the bay leaves. And let this go for the remainder of that. So if it was 1.5 to 2 hours, and you added this stuff at a half an hour, so you've got another 1 to 1.5 hours remaining. I let it go for the full 2 hours. And the last 20 minutes of it, I had the lid off. Right before you serve, mix in a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And then here you go. So we'll take a taste of this. This is just stellar. It is rich. It is meaty, peppery. It's chili at that most essential level. So thanks for watching, y'all. Do the internet video thing. Appreciate it. Bye.